Jai Shri Krishna, Mitro. Last time we can finish the chapter aldehyde, ketones and carboxylic acid according to the textbook. Here we can discuss some extra points regarding to this chapter. Already we can complete the maximum portion of the theories, and exercise and problem questions you can study from the material which you can upload it in the PDF form in our groups. આપણું જે ગ્રુપ છે એની અંદર PDF ફોર્મમાં હું એક મટીરિયલ અપલોડ કરી દઈશ કે જેમાંથી તમને પ્રોબ્લેમ અને એક્સરસાઇઝના ક્વેશ્ચનો મળી જશે, બરાબર? તો એ તમે ત્યાંથી પ્રિફર કરી લેજો. નાઉ વી કેન ઇન aldehyde, ketone and carboxylic acid, in aldehydes, ketone and carboxylic acids, we can think some extra points regarding to this chapter. Now generally these are from carboxylic acid. Generally these are from carboxylic acids. Yes, first we can discuss about the particular reactions which is Hunsdicker reactions. HUNSDIECKER, Hunsdicker reaction. Yes. Or decarboxylation, and આપણે આવું પણ કહી શકીએ. What is the reaction? The reaction is decarboxylation of silver salt of carboxylic acids. Decarboxylation of silver salt of carboxylic acids in presence of bromine. In presence of bromine. This particular reaction is known as Hunsdicker reactions. Decarboxylation of silver salt of carboxylic acid in presence of bromine is known as Hunsdicker reactions. Generally the reaction is like that. Suppose we can have carboxylic acid with a silver salt of acid, or carboxylic acid, silver salt of carboxylic acid. We can treat it with Br2, bromine, in presence of inert solvent like CCl4, which is inert solvent. Inert means we cannot react with the molecules, and we can reflux it. Reflux means we can heat it in the closed vessel. We can obtain the product RBr, which is alkyl bromide. Alkyl bromide with one carbon atom less, plus CO2 gas is released. Precipitates of AgBr are generated. एक up जाए एक down जाए. Precipitates of AgBr are generated. This reaction is known as Hunsdicker reaction. Silver salt of carboxylic acid treated with bromine in presence of inert solvent like CCl4, then we can reflux it, we can heat in a closed vessel, we can have the product alkyl bromide RBr plus CO2 gas plus AgBr is precipitated. We can think about that. CH3COOAg. The name of this compound is silver acetate. Silver acetate. We can treat with Br2 in presence of CCl4 inert solvent and reflux it. Means we can heat it in the closed vessel. Particularly, we can obtain CH3Br, one carbon atom less. It is, what is the name? Methyl bromide, alkyl halide. Carbon dioxide is released and AgBr is precipitated. Very simple. Next example, suppose if you can have a silver benzoate C6H5COOAg. We can write like also. We can treat it with Br2 in presence of this condition. We can have benzene ring, and here Br, bromobenzene. CO2 is evolved and AgBr is precipitated. It is bromobenzene. Bromobenzene. The first reaction which we can complete here is Hunt-Dicker reactions. It is nothing but decarboxylation of silver salt of carboxylic acid in presence of bromine, or we can use inert solvent like CCl4 to give one less carbon atom from the salt. The salt ની અંદર હશે ને કરતા one less carbon atom obtained થશે alkyl halide. CO2 evolve થશે, AgBr precipitate થશે. Yes, first reaction which we can complete here, Hunt-Dicker reaction. Next one is reduction to alkanes. Particular for this we can use one reagent which is HI. Carboxylic acid on reduction with hydroiodic acid, carboxylic acid on reduction with particularly HI, which is used 6 times, hydroiodic acid. We can yes, this reduction is in the presence of red phosphorus and temperature is 473 to 523 Kelvin. We can have the product RCS3, which is alkane, and byproduct is H2O plus I2. H2O plus I2. Yes, it is a product. Here COOH group as whole is completely reduced to CH3 group. આમાં શું થયું તો કે COOH group જે હતું એ all reduced થઈ ગયું કોની અંદર? CH3 group ની અંદર. આ કન્વર્ઝન થશે. COOH ટોટલી કોની અંદર કન્વર્ટ થઈ જશે? CH3 ની અંદર with the help of HI. Convenient एक example લઈએ, CH3COOH which is acetic acid or ethanoic acid. We can treat it with 6 times HI. In the presence of red phosphorus, temperature range is 473 to 523 Kelvin. We can obtain CH3 which is ethane plus 2 times H2O plus 3 times I2. This is the reaction. So here we can complete the second reaction, reduction to alkanes, which is done by HI in the presence of red phosphorus. Very simple. Next is formation of amine. And it is also known as action of N3H. Not NH3, N3H. Or it is also known as પછી આપણે વાત કરશું formation of amines and action of N3H. The name of N3H is hydrazoic acid. Hydrazoic acid. Hydrazoic acid. Yes. Suppose primary amines containing one carbon atom less are formed when monocarboxylic acids and their derivatives react with hydrozoic acid in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. Suppose we can have a carboxylic acid. We can treat it with N3H, that is carboxylic acid. Hydrazoic acid. We can treat in the presence of concentrated H2SO4. We can have the product RNH2, which is particularly primary amine, plus release thus CO2 plus N2. That is the product. Yes. Next one is example આપણે લઈએ CH3COOH when treated with N3H in the presence of name is acetic acid. And the name of this molecule is already given here, hydroiodic acid, in the presence of concentrated H2SO4. We can have CH3NH2 plus CO2 plus N2. What is the name? Here methylamine. I think you will be clear about that. And this particular reaction is called Schmidt reaction. Schmidt reaction. Sorry. SCHMIDT, Schmidt reaction. Yes. Suppose if we can have benzoic acid, and we can treat it with N3H in the presence of concentrated H2SO4. What is the product? The product is very simple, aniline, because COOH converted to NH2 plus CO2 plus N2. Here COOH is directly converted into NH2. Remember that. Here in Schmidt reaction, COOH is directly converted into NH2 group. Yes. Any doubt? Next. આની અંદર આપણે જે ડિસ્કશન કરીએ, આ બધા કન્વર્ઝન્સ યાદ રાખવાના મિત્રો. In this reaction, the acyl azide, the formula of acyl azide is RCON3. That is acyl azide. And alkyl isocyanate, alkyl isocyanate, which is RNCO. What is this? What is this? Are formed as an intermediate. આ form થશે intermediate તરીકે. Formed as intermediate. Like that. First step શું હશે તો કે R COOH plus HN3, અને મેં અરેન્જ કરીને લખ્યું. અહીંયાથી OH, અહીંયાથી H, રિલીઝ થશે H2O. Then we can have the product like that. RCON3 plus H2O. It is nothing but acyl azide. Now this acyl azide RCON3 is treated in the presence of inert solvent C6H6 or CHCl3. You can heat it, and this step is particularly known as Curtius rearrangement. Curtius, CURTIUS, Curtius rearrangement. Remember that. And we can have the final product R and double bond C double bond O, which is alkyl isocyanate plus N2. Alkyl isocyanate plus N2. And now in third step, this alkyl isocyanate is react with H2O, which is generated here, and convert them into RNH2 plus CO2. Yes, final product is RNH2, CO2 and N2, because these two are consumed here. These all are consumed here. Acyl azide on heating and hydrolysis to form primary amine is also known as Claisen-Schmidt rearrangement. Acyl azide જે મળ્યો એને તમે હિટ કરો અને રીઅરેન્જ થઈને જ્યાં મળે, this step is also known as Claisen-Schmidt rearrangement. These steps are also known as Claisen-Schmidt rearrangement, which you can remember. Claisen-Schmidt rearrangement. I think you will be clear about that. Now next. reaction with CH2N2. And the name of CH2N2 is diazomethane. Diazomethane. Now, suppose we can have carboxylic acid and we can treat it with CH2N2. Heat it, we can have RCOOCH3 plus the liberated product is N2. Carboxylic converted into methyl ester particularly. Carboxylic acid, it is particularly converted into methyl ester. Yes. આ બધા સ્ટેપ તમારે રિમેમ્બર કરવાના. ક્યારેક ક્યારેક આની રિએક્શન્સ કમ્પ્લીટ કરવાની અંદર એમસીક્યુની અંદર બ્લેન્કની અંદર રિક્વાયરમેન્ટ પડી શકે મિત્રો. ક્લિયર? નાવ વી કેન નેક્સ્ટ પર્ટિક્યુલરલી think about some reactions of toluene, naphthalene and orthoxylene. Title: Oxidation of particularly toluene, naphthalene and orthoxylene. Yes, here we can particularly discuss upon the preparation of benzoic acid, because क्या दरेक कोना माटे यूज थाय? Preparation of benzoic acid. Suppose we can have a naphthalene. And we can heat in the presence of vanadium pentoxide V2O5 at in the presence of O2 at 773 Kelvin temperature. Firstly, we can obtain phthalic anhydride. Phthalic anhydride. Firstly, we can obtain phthalic anhydride. Now, if we can heat the phthalic anhydride in the presence of H2O, then it can give phthalic acid. COOH, COOH, phthalic acid. And now, if we can treat phthalic acid with soda lime, then we can obtain the benzoic acid, soda lime. હમણાં જ આની રિએક્શન જોઈ, NaOH plus CaO, heat minus CO2 is evolved, we can obtain the benzoic acid. That is the preparation of benzoic acid from naphthalene. Clear? Second one is preparation from toluene. Clear? Preparation from toluene or orthoxylene. Suppose here you can use orthoxylene. That is orthoxylene. And we can oxidize in the same condition. We can obtain the product like that. Then the reaction was going on like that. અહીંયાથી ડાયરેક્ટ આપણને આ પર્ટિક્યુલર પ્રોડક્ટ મળશે. Then later on we can synthesize the benzoic acid. સેમ વસ્તુ કોની અંદર હોય મિત્રો? ટોલ્યુએનની અંદર. બરાબર? બટ ટોલ્યુએનની અંદર થોડોક ડિફરન્સ હોય. If we can have toluene CH3 on benzene ring, we can treat with O2. Now it is 2 times, it is 3 times if you can complete the reaction in the presence of copper or manganese acetate 443 Kelvin. We can have benzoic acid. That is from toluene, which is 2 times and 2 times water is liberated. So it is a synthesis of benzoic acid from different molecules, from xylene, from naphthalene, from toluene. Yes, we can also synthesize the benzoic acid. Now preparation of benzoic acid from by hydrolysis of benzotrichloride. Suppose if we can have benzotrichloride, means CCl3, we can treat it with H2O in the presence of CaOH twice Fe catalyst, means benzo trichloride obtained by passing chlorine through boiling toluene at 383 Kelvin in presence of light is hydrolyzed. मतलब कि केवी रीतना बनानी preparation ની method આપી, is hydrolyzed with milk of lime. Milk of lime means CaOH twice in presence of Fe catalyst to give benzoic acid. 3HCl is released here. બસ તમારે બીજી કઈ નિસ્બત નથી. આ કેવી રીતના મેન્યુફેક્ચરિંગ થાય તમને આપ્યું કે ભાઈ બાય પાસિંગ ધ ક્લોરીન ગેસ થ્રુ બોઇલિંગ ટોલ્યુઇન. આ ટોલ્યુઇન હોય આપણી આગળ જેને આપણે હીટ કર્યો હોય ઓલરેડી, એમાંથી આપણે ક્લોરીન ગેસ પાસ કરીએ, ઇટ ઇઝ બોઇલિંગ, હીટ કરેલો કયા ટેમ્પરેચરે 383. we can obtain this in the presence of light. H mu, it is milk of magnesia, sorry, CaOH twice, which is known as milk of lime. Milk of lime. I think you will be understand about that. Clear? The next compound which you can study here is અત્યારે આપણે બેન્ઝોઇક એસિડની થોડી પ્રિપેરેશનો જોઈ. જનરલી ફ્રેન્ડ્સ, બેન્ઝોઇક એસિડ ઇઝ અ કલરલેસ ક્રિસ્ટલાઇન કમ્પાઉન્ડ. કેરેક્ટરિસ્ટિક લખ્યું તો લખજો, કલરલેસ ક્રિસ્ટલાઇન કમ્પાઉન્ડ. It is sparingly soluble in cold water but fairly soluble in hot water. બેન્ઝોઇક એસિડ છે sparingly soluble in cold water while fairly मतलब કે easily soluble in hot water. કેરેક્ટરિસ્ટિક લખજો, કલરલેસ ક્રિસ્ટલાઇન સોલિડ, sparingly soluble मतलब બહુ સ્લાઇટલી સોલ્યુબલ હશે કોલ્ડ વોટરની અંદર, હોટ વોટરમાં કમ્પ્લીટલી સોલ્યુબલ હશે. ક્લિયર? ઇટ ઇઝ ઓલ્સો સોલ્યુબલ ઇન આલ્કોહોલ એન્ડ ઇથર. It is also soluble in alcohol and ether, and it is also soluble in alcohol and ether. It is readily sublimes and it volatile in steam. Yes, benzoic acid નું મિત્રો sublimation થાય, means a solid માંથી direct gas બની જાય, vapor બની જાય. It is sublimes to give a vapor, and its vapor is irritating and cause a coughing and sneezing. Cause a coughing and sneezing. I think you will understand about that. Now the next compound which you can study here is very useful, salicylic acid. Salicylic acid, or another name of this compound is orthohydroxybenzoic acid. Orthohydroxybenzoic acid, and the structure of this compound is that is salicylic acid. What is the method of preparations? First reaction which can use for the method of preparation of salicylic acid is Kolbe-Schmidt reaction. Kolbe-Schmidt reaction. Yes. What is the starting material? Starting material is sodium phenoxide. then sodium phenoxide is treated with CO2, carbon dioxide, at 398 Kelvin temperature and high pressure. We can have firstly OC double bond O and A, which is nothing but sodium phenyl carbonate. Sodium phenyl carbonate. It is gives a rearrangement and gives OH and COONA like that. It can get rearranged to give OH and COONA, which is known as sodium salicylate. Sodium salicylate. Now we can treat it with dilute HCl to give salicylic acid. Very simple. Minus NaCl and we can obtain salicylic acid. Both are same, salicylic acid. Coal-based reaction. Next one is Rimmer-Tiemann reaction. Rimmer-Tiemann reaction. Tiemann. Rimmer-Tiemann reactions, in which starting material is phenol. And phenol is treated with CH4 and KOH in presence of heat. CCl4 plus KOH, we can heat it. Then first we can get OH and COOK. OH and COOK. Clear? Then we can treat with dilute HCl, directly we can get salicylic acid. Minus KCl, salicylic acid. This is the second method. Clear? So generally, if you can think about this, particularly preparation of salicylic acid, then it is like that. It is colorless needle-shaped crystalline compound. It is colorless needle-shaped crystalline compound. Write down. And it is sparingly soluble in cold water but readily soluble in hot water, alcohol, ether and chloroform. Sparingly soluble in cold water while readily soluble in hot water, alcohol, ether and chloroform. It is steam volatile and gives a violet coloration with neutral FeCl3. Write down करजो. It gives violet color with neutral FeCl3. It is steam volatile. मतलब कि आनु पण volatile मतलब कि वेपर ની અંદર conversion થઈ શકે. It is poisonous in nature and it is used in medicine internally and extremely as a antipyretic and antiseptics. Aspirin ની manufacturing ની અંદર આનો use થાય. Medicine ની અંદર આનો use કરી શકાય. So some chemical reactions which is given by salicylic acid, which you can show here. Suppose we can have salicylic acid. If you can treat with Na2CO3, then it is the product. OH remains same, here COONA, which is monosodium salicylate. Monosodium salicylate. It proves that it is acidic, because if any compound which reacts with Na2CO3 or NHCO3, then it is acidic in nature. Yes, if we can treat with strong base like NaOH, then both groups are converted to salt, ONA and COONA. Now we can say that it is disodium salicylate. અહીંયા બે કન્વર્ટ થઈ ગયા, અહીંયા જો OH નહોતો થયો, disodium salicylate. Disodium salicylate. If we can slowly heat it, then it gives only and only phenol. COO is released here, and the final product is phenol. Yes, if we can treat with FeCl3, neutral FeCl3 solution, then it gives violet coloration. It is the identification test. If you can treat it with PCl5, then we can obtain OCl and Cl and COCl. Here only Cl and COCl, which is known as orthochlorobenzoyl chloride. Orthochlorobenzoyl chloride. Orthochlorobenzoyl chloride. If we can treat with bromine water, for bromination, what is the bromination reaction? And the product is like that, which is 2,4,6 tribromophenol. 2,4,6 tribromophenol, which you can generally know is that. If you can fuse with fuming HNO3 or nitration, then the product is same. Means OH remains same, here NO2, here NO2, and here also NO2. The name of this product is 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. It is TNT. Yes. If you can heat with soda lime, we can have only and only phenol. Yes. If you can heat with zinc dust, then we can have only benzoic acid. Yes. If you can treat with C2H5OH, ethanol, in presence of HCl gas, we can have OH and COOC2H5. COOC2H5, ethyl salicylate. Ethyl salicylate. So friends, here we can complete the chapter aldehyde, ketones and carboxylic acid. Generally we can talk about the textbook mainly, then we can discuss about some another or extra points also, and later on હજી પણ જો ક્યાંમાં રિક્વાયરમેન્ટ હશે, કંઈ પ્રોબ્લેમ હશે, then we can also discuss about that. So particularly you can prepare it for the competitive exams. So મિત્રો આજના માટે આટલું, પ્રેક્ટિસ કરતા રહેજો, પ્રિપેરેશન કરતા રહેજો વધારે next time.